Well, good morning, high school students. Happy Thursday to you. And hey, I'm going to go off the Devo that we normally do today and share with you something that blessed me this morning, and I hope it'll bless you. As I was getting ready today, and before I even had my quiet time, I turned on some worship music, and I got on Spotify, and I have a playlist. One of my favorite hymns is Come Thou Fount of Every Blessing. And so I have a playlist of different artists that have done a version of that hymn. And so I started just listening to that and listening to it. So it's different artists singing this hymn, over and over again. I have like 8 different artists in that little playlist. And it occurred to me as I was listening to it, and I was listening to each line and then kind of praying through each line, that, hey, this would be a great subject for some devotional material. So I would encourage you, if you have Spotify, go ahead and hop on there, or even just Google, look up Come Thou Fount, the hymn. And it's pretty interesting. It was written by a young man. He was just 22 years old when he wrote the hymn in the 18th century. And he had had a really difficult life. His father had died when he was a child, like 8 years old. And his grandfather had disowned him, and so he had a lot of really troubling things, and he had to be the breadwinner for his family as a really young man. So he had to have responsibilities that, you know, most people his age didn't have to have quite yet. And so he had a really difficult life, and yet he wrote this hymn about the ways that God had helped him and how his human heart was prone to wonder. And yet he could look back and see the ways that God had helped him. And one of the famous lines in it is, "Here I raise my Ebenezer," and that just means raise this stone of remembrance. They used to place stones in these places where God had helped them, and it's a reference to 1 Samuel 7, chapter 7, verse 12 is what that line is a reference to. So I encourage you today to listen to that hymn and kind of pray through, like, whatever line speaks to you, meditate on that and pray through that. Listen to different artists do their version of that hymn, and just let it wash over you and bring you peace and bring you comfort today. And then you can hop into 1 Samuel chapter 7 if you want to dig deeper into the reference of the line of the song. So I pray that you have an amazing day. We love you so much. We miss you so much, and we can't wait to see you again soon. Take care.